Sup, nerds? I'm Wes.
I'm Tom.
Something about Alien.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
So SETI is a pretty big Euro game that actually if you see, it's a table hog, and we kind of half-assed our way setting it up. But what I like to do when teaching somebody this game is to say, hey, if you think about the board is kind of cut up into three things. There's like three main things you do and three main ways to get points. And that is, there is an area control sort of ring around the center here. That's satellites or contact or whatever it's called. Signaling. Where we're going to be placing our colored pieces in there in a little area control type fashion. There is landing on planets and their moons and stuff. We're orbiting them to get points and abilities. And then there is also a tech track over here with data, these blue tokens, right, that can get you abilities. That's like the main big three things that you're doing in this game to get points.
And I will say, it's a game that shifts kind of halfway through because you're going out and eventually you'll discover alien life. And that does change the game for you. And depending on how you're playing the game, you may not know how it's going to change because there's different aliens and you put them out there face down. I mean, I guess you could pick. We're going to play with this guy and this guy. I
think in the rules you're not supposed to, but whatever.
You can.
You can. Nobody can stop you. But how they get unlocked is whenever somebody does one of those three big things that I just said earlier, they put a token here. When one of each of those three different things happens, boom, the alien, and hey, it's the turquoise one. I set this up earlier, and I didn't even know.
But it is a shift in the game. I'd say it's not like totally game changing. Like your goals are still the same, but there's sometimes either additional things to do or additional cards that you can use or play. Yeah. And like, it is a shift in the game, but it's not like, all right, now we're playing a new game.
But it's more like just a power level step up.
Yeah.
And that, sure, we're going to do mostly the same type of things. It's just things are going to be stronger. Like you said, if there's new cards, there's new really powerful cards, right? Whenever you do one of those three main things, a lot of them have spots on them. Let's see if this one has one. Yeah. A lot of them will have spots on them where, hey, now doing those things doesn't just get you 5 points or 3 points. Now you can get, 25 points if you do it right.
You know what it's kind of like? So we just reviewed Barcelona as well, and we were talking about how that expansion doesn't really change the game in a huge way. It just kind of adds an additional thing to do, an additional way to get points. These feel kind of like you've added that level of an expansion to a game, where the gameplay is still the same, you're still trying to do the same thing, but now there's a little bit more going on that you could focus on.
I could agree with that the aliens kind of feel like a little expansion just tossed into the game. And now we're talking about big overview things of how you get points.
Like a galaxy level view?
Yeah, but No, that's very good.
Did you get it?
I love it. No, I'm very proud of you.
What? You have to do stand-up. I will. I promise.
Zooming in on your turn, you have several actions that you could do. I mean, you only do one action, but you get this little booklet as your player aid, which, could be kind of overwhelming for some people. But, you have different actions that you can take, but a big part of it is it's very card-based. You're going to have cards in your hand that are multi-use. You can either play them to just do the action that is listed on there. You can burn them for the resource up in the top left. There's ways that you can burn them for income every turn. And that will bring me to my first and kind of my only real complaint I have with this game is that it's kind of brain burnery. A lot of actions you can do. Mm-hmm. A lot of them have to do with cards, but a lot of them also have to do with those three big things in terms of data cubes and the area control aspect and whatever. Cards are just different. The actions on there are just different variations of those things. Spending money to do it a little bit better or whatever. So that sometimes it's super combo-tastic and great that you're like, oh, this card just happens to let me move 4 spaces out here, which just happens to be exactly what I need to get over to Jupiter, and then I can do this bonus action here to jump over right here onto Jupiter and land, and I get all these resources, and I get this thing, and now I unlocked this, which means I get... And there will be a time where you're sitting there, and you're like, I can't do that. I have none of these help, none of this combos. It feels like the rich getting richer, which is kind of true, because there's a lot of things that happen on the points track when you hit this level, things happen. But you'll definitely be like, fuck this, fuck you. You just happen to draw into the best cards that happen to all work together, and you happen to always have exactly the resource you need. Oh wait, I want to spend 6 microphones over there so I can get a tech that I need. What are the odds? I have 5 and I can discard the card that I need, so I get to 6, and now I can... And I don't have any microphones on my cards to discard. This sucks. I never have the resources. I'm blah, 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 blah. And then, like, 2 rounds later, you'd be like, okay, guys, check this out.
Yeah, I don't feel quite as strongly, apparently, as you do about that aspect of the game.
Okay.
But I definitely did have moments where I need this card to do this thing. And so I'm actually going to take part of my turn to, like, either try to draw cards or swap out the cards that are out there, like discard and draw some more out there, hoping to find a black card to come out. And like, okay, so I do all this stuff, and it's not that. So you're digging for that card so that you can do a thing, especially at the end of the game when you're like clawing for points at the very end.
Or you could have, there's like, some of the cards have goals on them, so you could have multiple goals sitting out there, and you're like, well, if I could just pass by Saturn this turn, nope, the board shifts, rotates. I'm certain we'll have videos of that.
So I can rotate it, it'll rotate one direction. You can also then rotate other layers too, depending on which ones you selected. So,
oh man. But you could be like, oh look, I'm right next to my planet, and then someone says, oh, I'm going to do this thing, which makes the board shift, and you're like, well, nope, now I'm super far away, and there's asteroids in between, and there's no way I can get there.
Speaking of the board shifting, this is actually something I wanted to talk about. That I feel like in looking at this game and being on social media and stuff, the board rotating is the thing you always see. Everyone's showing off, look at the board, it spins, OMG! Do you feel like that's integral to the game, or is it more of a gimmick to have the moving?
It's a little bit gimmicky. It's thematic in that I think it's supposed to just be like the night sky shifts, so you know that's what happens. It only really comes up mechanically in that, oh, I just got screwed type of thing, or it just benefited me. It adds to the random aspect a little bit, again, of being like, you know, well, now I'm far away from this thing. Let me look at the cards and see if any of these happen to get me, you know, a lot more movement. Oh, I'm going to burn these 2 cards for movement, and I happen to be right there to the one I want, you know, so it's still a cool aspect. I like it, but it's not the thing that makes the game. So I'm like, oh man, every time the board spins, I'm losing my mind. Oh, I busted in my pants.
Look at Daryl. He's going, and I pretty much just shot in my pants. Not joking.
No, I'm not like that.
So I feel pretty similar, and I didn't know if it was just the fact that I'm bad at games. That
you are
maybe like games. So many times on my turn, I'm looking at like, all right, where is the galaxy, and what can I do now? And it was less like, oh, you shifted it. Now my next 5 turns are all messed up because the galaxy shifted where it didn't. Like, it didn't seem like that big of a deal. Like, obviously, it impacts the game because a lot of it does have to do with movement and how far away you are from things. And when things line up and you can just like, oh, I'm going to go here and pick this thing up and then come here and drop it off. And I'm so glad they're all right next to each other.
Overall, I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, I loved it.
There's a bit of a learning curve and also like a power level curve. The first turn of the game, the first turn and probably the first round, you're going to do very little. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, you're going to be like, oh, wow, there's 5 rounds to this game. This is going to go by so quick. And then the 4th round is going to take 4 times as long as the first round did.
Well, because so many things are like building up your tech trees or the area control, like getting your stuff out there so that you can actually claim it. Because it's not just like whoever has the most. It's once it has, 6 on it or something, or once it has a certain number on it, then it triggers, so it's going to take a little while for people to be putting their stuff out there.
Those are the only ones that do go together. You could spend your whole game just landing and orbiting on planets, right, and get points that way. But the signaling and the data cubes do kind of go hand in hand because whenever you signal, you'll gain data cubes to use for this thing down here. Really, there's 2 main ways to get points. You know what? I'm done talking about it. It's really great. We loved it. We had a phenomenal time with it.
Yeah, we nitpicked it a little bit here, but we did have a ton of fun with it.
Yeah, really, and I think that's what it is. On any complaints we have are nitpicks. Again, I think my biggest complaint is that there will be times you have to be okay with just being like, this f***ing sucks. I hate this. I hate you. You all suck. Just know that, don't worry, your time will come, baby. When my number comes up, I'm going to have a big turn too.
So if you guys want to pick up a copy of SETI, there will be a purchase link in the description. You can go ahead and click on that and get one.
Just so you know, it is 95 degrees in Florida right now.
And we're filming in a garage. Also, GameToppers are awesome.
I forgot about GameToppers.
You should get a GameTop.
Land on Europa. So it's 7 points, 2 yellow life. I start at the bottom, right?
You have the moon. You don't have the moon tech.
Oh, I did the moon tech to land on the moon?
Yes.
We really?
Well, it wouldn't. You can't.
Well, we covered that 4 hours ago, and they missed a 75.
Oh, I need to have the thing that allows me to land on moons.
Also, you can't land via orbit. Once you orbit, you're just.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, you have to. You have to do a whole new probe.
Good.
That was a good thought, though.